Hey, Russell Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. I do this daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today is Thursday. September 19th. So I'm doing one a day, right? So I can't miss one. I know I may be a little late on the time, but you know what the word of the day is? Consistency. Okay, so as long as you're consistent, you're still doing it. Okay, you may be off on the time. Okay, I understand. You may not get as many people live as you wanted to get, but that's okay because it's always available on the replay. So even if you don't get the optimal number of people that you want to be live on your show, on your live show, it's okay, right? Just do the show, be consistent. People will make comments. You respond to them, even if it's not even in real time. But of course, we appreciate the people that are on live now because the chat is open. You can make your comments. I'll put your comments on the screen in real time so the whole world can see. So, but anyway, so I'm Russell of Hotels. I do this daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Like I mentioned, I also do a show called On Air with Russell of Hotels that comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST. Right, that's Pacific Standard Time. I'm live in Los Angeles, as you can see on the little ticker down there, and I talk about everything hospitality. Good, the bad, the ugly. We're pretty transparent on here, right? So if I'm dealing with issues, I'm gonna let you know because it's not all about because this is on social media, they think that it's we making up stuff. You know what I mean? Like that didn't happen. No, all the stuff I talked about. If I show something, I'm there. I've been there. I've experienced it. I don't rely on someone to tell me, about a destination. I have to go and see it for myself. I don't allow someone to tell me, oh, I stayed at this hotel and it was crap. Okay, well, no, let me go and experience it for myself, right? Because that way it's firsthand information, right? So I'm all about, being transparent. I'm a hotel site selection expert, specialist, or whatever. So I do that for hotels, for my clients, which are, they can be corporate, they can be, specialty, they can be association, they can be government, they can be whatever, insurance companies, law firms, whatever it is, whatever whatever sports groups, all those kind of things. So my job is to find, that hotel for their sporting, their sporting event, their convention, their conference, their retreats, all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm here to do. 10 rooms or more. 10 rooms or more is considered a group. So I do group business, right? 10 rooms or more. So I've done as least amount as 10, as many as 650 rooms on peak, okay? But it doesn't matter if you do 10 rooms or 1,000. It's the same amount of work, right? So I welcome all the stuff. Give me 100,000 rooms, whatever it is. Give me a citywide convention. That's fine. I'll do that. That's my goal, right? To do a citywide convention. That's my goal. So if anyone has a citywide convention, it doesn't matter where the heck it is. It can be in LA, it can be in New York, it can be in Miami, it can be in New Orleans. It does not matter. I'm here to assist you. That is my job to do, is assist you. Now I have, where does this experience come from? How do I, okay. Well, I got 25, 30 years of experience in the hotel side. Before I transitioned over to be Russell of Hotel, I was Russell in a hotel. I was Russell working in a hotel. So I started off in housekeeping years and years ago. In fact, this hotel here that I'm showing, this is the Courtyard Hacienda Heights, Courtyard Marriott Hacienda Heights. I opened this hotel 30 years ago, back in 1990, as a housekeeping manager. I actually opened up this hotel. So it's the first hotel, and I think it's it's not the only hotel that I ever opened, but it's the first one I opened, and I was responsible for a department. You had to, order things and make sure things were coming that corporate ordered. Make sure you had enough team members to assist you with organizing the housekeeping department and all that. So my fingerprints are all over this hotel. My fingerprints and footprints, although it was back in 1990, it's still there, right? I walked in there and it's like I never left, right? I was like, I'm home. I walked in and I walked into the lobby and I said, I'm home. And they looked at me like, do we need to call security? Like, I said, no, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I used to work here. Yeah, sure you did. You used to work here, right? I said, yeah, 30 years ago. The hotel opened up in 1990. Oh my God, how'd you know that? I'm like, okay, all right, enough of that, enough of that. So, but anyway, often I just rant and rave because that's just what I do. But yeah, but I'm serious about that. I did open up this hotel, right? So, but we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of the hospitality industry. It's not always pretty, right? We like to say that it's always pretty, but it's not. There's things that happen. There's hotels that fall short. There's guests that maybe their expectations are a little bit too high. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know, but things do happen. But it's all about how those things within the hotel space. Things are going to happen, right? Hotels are going to fall short, but it's all about how they follow up or how they deliver on delivering short of the guest expectations. Well, what do you do? What's the comeback? What do you do to make things right? Because everybody, well, we want to make things right for you, right? Well, what are you doing to make things right? Because I'm dealing with a group right now, not a group, dealing with a hotel right now that did not deliver on the promise. Okay, and hotels sometimes, not all the time, and it's more of a management issue or a culture issue when hotel management is hiding and not facing an issue up front, being forward about it, and heading it off instead of kind of hiding, and maybe this problem will go away. That's an issue, right? That's a hotel culture problem, right? Meaning whoever's at the top is not really holding his manager or her manager's feet to the fire, okay, if that makes any sense at all. But so I'm dealing with some issues like that. But like I said, I'm all about transparency, right? Because every hotel is not perfect. Every guest is not perfect. Every group is not perfect. Every meeting planner is not perfect, okay? So it is what it is. But like I said, it's how you take care of those situations. It's how you follow up and make sure the guest is taken care of. That's what makes that's the difference between one hotel to the next. It's the people and how they deal with certain things, right? So every hotel has a room. They have beds. They have restaurants. They have all those things. But the difference from hotel A to hotel B are the people. Okay, if you got lame people, we're gonna give lame service. If you got great people, you're gonna give great service. That's just how it is, right? I mean, that's just how it is. That's just how it works. But anyway, so you can see some of the stuff I talk about. Okay, so but every day I have a brief topic that I talk about, and today is no exception, right? I have a brief topic today, and the daily check-ins don't last that long. The daily check-ins go about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on if I get comments or whatever like that, and I like to address all the comments, and I like to mention the people that are online and that come on and make comments because they can be doing something else, right? And I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that, even if it's negative comments, okay, I appreciate that too because they actually take the time to put something negative up. But anyway, yeah, the comments are open, so feel free to say whatever you got to say, and we'll go from there. So the blog, okay, so mostly every topic, I would say 99% of the topics that I talk about, they are on my blog. So just go to the blog, russellofhotels.com, go to the blog drop down, hit the little button, bing, and it'll pop up. The information will pop up. The topic that I talked about today will pop up. It's not there yet, but yesterday's topic is on there. So check it out. If you have time, just go and check it out. And because I appreciate it. So I just forget sometimes to mention that, I have this blog now. I've been consistent on it. And that's what it's all about, consistency, right? So I've been consistent on it for, I don't know, a couple of months now. And I want to make sure people know about it. So feel free to go to the blog anytime, day or night, russellofhotels.com. Just go to the blog section, bing, and it'll be right there. So what's the topic for today? So yesterday's topic, I got on some hotel people yesterday. Okay, so yesterday, today's question or topic: 5 common reasons meeting planners don't follow up after conference one-on-one appointments. Okay, so we go to all these conferences, right? Connect and smart meetings and and North Star meetings, IPEC, all these things where we have one-on-one appointments. IMAX, we go to all these things. Yesterday, I was on the hotel people because they weren't following up. Well, what about the meeting professionals like myself that maybe we don't follow up after one-on-one appointments? Maybe hotels are feeling some kind of way. They're like, you know what? He or she said they're going to follow up with this. They're going to give me their RFP, and they didn't. Okay. So what are the 5 reasons why, meeting professionals don't follow up or may not follow up? I mean, I'm saying don't, like, that's it, the end of the word. They do not follow up. Well, they may not follow up. Let's just say that. But I mean, I put what I put, right? So because I wanted to be fair, right? I don't want people to think that I'm just picking on hotel people. Because remember, I used to be one, so I got to play both sides of the fence, if you will. So I was on the, I was a director of sales and marketing. I was a sales manager, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so I presented, yesterday, what, as a, director of sales and marketing or as a sales manager, what we were lacking. Why are we not doing this? Why are we not following up? Okay, well today, boom, let's change hats. Now I'm asking, or I'm giving 5 common reasons why meeting professionals don't follow up, because we don't follow up sometimes too. We're not as consistent as we should be, and I'm saying, I'm not just saying they're not, I'm saying all of us are not. We're not perfect, right? Just like hotel people are not perfect, but there's always things that we can learn. And sometimes we don't know that we're not following up. So we need to be checked. Okay. And it's okay to check people. It is. Okay. I'm just telling you. So, okay. So today is, the 5 reasons why hotel people are not following up. I just got an email. You know what? I have a meeting. Check this out before I get to this. One of my clients, right, that I do business with, right? So they're corporate clients. And at the last minute, I love last minute stuff, right? Last minute meetings. So was it yesterday? 2 days. I get an email say, hey, I need a last minute meeting. The meeting's on Monday. Okay. The meeting's on Monday. And, they need, just meeting space only. I'm like, okay, all right, let's make it happen. Right. So, we narrowed it down to 2 hotels, right? So it was like 7 hotels at first, but we narrowed it down to 2. And the 2 things that are going to, make the difference or going to make the cut are the food and beverage minimum, and if the meeting space that they have designated has natural lighting, because this group is big on natural lighting. They like windows, right? So know what your clients want, right? Know exactly what they want, what their, the bells and whistles for that group, or, the little details that they look for. Well, the details for this group is they wanted to know the food and beverage minimum. Okay, that's one thing. But the big thing is they want to know if it has natural lighting. So that's the difference. So if one has natural lighting and the other one doesn't, guess which one is going to get the business? The one that has natural lighting. That's as simple as it comes, right? So I'm like, hey, that's what the client wants. That's what the client is going to get. Now, if both of them have it, they do have a preference over that. So I ask these questions because I know these questions are going to come up, right? So know your clients, know exactly what they like, their hot buttons, what they look for. And I know natural lighting is a big thing for them, right? We just did a group in Charlotte, North Carolina 2 weeks ago. And that was an issue there too, right? Or it wasn't an issue, but it came down to that. Does meeting space have natural lighting and windows? Yeah, it has like 10 windows in it. Oh my God, that's great. So make sure you listen to your clients. Make sure you hear them, because they could be talking and we're not paying attention. But we have to listen and know what the important things for this group are. And the most important thing is the natural lighting or the windows. Isn't that something? So anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there because, like I said, I'm transparent. I'll let you know what people are thinking and what I look for or what I try to get out of my clients, because sometimes clients, and you find this stuff over time, what's important. It's not like when you first meet them, they just line up everything for you. No, some things evolve. Maybe you were giving them space, or maybe they got space at meetings and they all had natural lighting. So it wasn't a big deal but then all of a sudden, you give them one that, the space they get from this next hotel or the next meeting, doesn't have natural lighting. And then now it becomes an issue. Like, well, you didn't tell me that before. Well, because all the other hotels had natural lighting. So you just don't. Some things you don't know until you experience it, right? So now I know going into that, I don't even have to ask anymore. This is it. The only thing I asked was, okay, if one has it and one, because they were leaning towards this other hotel. But then I said, well, what about the natural lighting? Oh my God, you're right. So if this one has it, then this. If they both have it, then we want that one. But we're going to go with the one that has the natural lighting. Although my preference is this hotel, but if this one doesn't have natural lighting and that one does, we're going to go with the second one. So, boom, there you go. So anyway, okay. What is the question again? I forgot. 5 common reasons why meeting professionals may not or they don't follow up with salespeople after conferences, one-on-one appointments. So let's just say you just went to connect. Okay, you went to connect in connect in Milwaukee, which I was at, right? And we had we had 47 one-on-one appointments, and 20 of them I said I was going to send them an RFP, and I didn't send the RFP. Okay, why didn't I send that damn RFP? I told them that I was going to send it. Why didn't I send them? So this is 5 common reasons meeting professionals don't follow up after conference one-on-one appointments. Okay, number 1, boom, overwhelming volume of meetings. After attending numerous appointments during the conference, meeting planners may find it difficult to manage follow-ups due to the sheer volume of contacts made. We just made so many contacts. I mean, we did 47 appointments over 2 days, but that doesn't count the people that you met on the floor. That doesn't count the people that you met, going to these different receptions and dinners or on the bus and going to the baseball game. That doesn't count all those people, right? So you can be overwhelmed with all that stuff, right? I try not to be, but it does happen sometimes where, things do follow through the cracks. I normally remember, maybe, that same week, but maybe not on Monday or Tuesday, right? And I very seldom have back-to-back trips, right? So if I'm like, I was in Milwaukee one week, the next week I was back home. I was back in the office, right? So, but some hotel people, they go, trip. 1 week they're here, 1 week they're in Milwaukee, next week they're in New York, and the next week after that, they're in Miami. Then they go back home. You know what I mean? So I understand that from their perspective. But for our perspective, sometimes we do that as well. That's just not what I do, but I can understand how that is. So, okay, so overwhelming volume of meetings. Yeah, that can be an issue. Number 2, lack of urgency. Some meeting professionals may not have an immediate need to book a venue, which reduces the urgency to follow up right after the event. Yeah, that's true. But I always want to make sure, and this is the thing that us as meeting planners or meeting professionals, we need to let them know what the sense of urgency is. Because sometimes we'll say, oh, I got this RFP and we need to know now. But in reality, it's not, they may, it can be like 2 months from now that they need to hear, right? So what I do, because I did hand out like RFPs to probably, 5 or 6 appointments that I had, right? And I told them, I said, the client is in a meeting now, where they had a meeting that next week. I said, I will not give them the information about your hotel for another probably 2 or 3 weeks, right? They will decide what they want to see by the end of the year, say December 31st, but they're going to want to start looking at hotels come the second week of January, and they will make a decision by the end of January 2025 for their June meeting. So I make sure I, let people know if there's a sense of urgency, well, this is it. And this is the timelines and all that stuff. Because everything is not, oh, I need it right now. I mean, sometimes it is. It can be a last minute thing. But just like I said, I just got a request for a meeting that's on Monday, right? So, I'm frantic right now. But, sometimes there is a lack of urgency, but they need to explain, is there really a lack of urgency? Or is there any urgency? Do you really need it this fast? Do you need this information that fast? Number 3, information overload. The abundance of information received during conferences can make it challenging to prioritize which salespeople to follow up with, leading to delayed or forgotten responses. Yeah, so you can get so much information, But you forget, like, oh, I met with all these, I met with 47 people. How many of these people did I say I was going to follow up with, with RFP? You have to take notes. With each individual person, I always carry, when I'm meeting, a notepad, so, and I'm writing down notes about the people that I'm meeting with or the hotels that I'm meeting with and let them know. Then I'll put, if I need to send an RFP, well, what do? By their name, or even on the appointment sheet, I put RFP. What does that tell me? That means I need to send them an RFP. So to me, that's kind of simple to do, but hey, I can only speak for me. I can only speak from my experiences. I can't speak for everyone else. But sometimes information overload is a problem. It's a real thing. It's a thing, right? So I can't speak for everybody, but it can be an issue. Number 4, shifted priorities. New projects or immediate tasks that arise after the conference may take precedence, pushing follow-up actions down the priority list. Yeah, so if you all of a sudden get back to the office and you get bombarded with other meetings from your clients, then yeah, some of the stuff that you were working on that may not be a priority, it gets put at the bottom, right? So you have to shift your priorities. I understand that. Maybe that was number 1, prior to you getting back to your office, but now that number 1 is now number 5 because you got 4 other meetings you got to deal with, and you got 4 other clients that want those meetings. So yeah, priorities can shift. So be patient, right? Give us some grace, okay? And number 5, unclear value propositions. Who's calling me? I want to talk to you right now. We're doing a live. We ain't got time to talk to them. Where am I? Okay. What did I say? Unclear value proposition. If the hotel salespeople did not clearly differentiate their property or offerings, meeting professionals might not see a compelling reason to follow up. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I think that needs to be talked about or discussed during that meeting that you have, during your one-on-one meeting. I don't think your hotel is going to fit what this client is looking for. I mean, it's okay. I mean, is it going to hurt somebody's feelings? I don't know, but is it? I mean, you have to let them know what's going on. I try to be as transparent as I can, right? Because, and I'll just give this example. I'm looking for a unique hotel, right? Non-traditional. And that's in my spiel to people that I'm talking to. I let them know that. But of course, no matter what I say, some people are going to say, oh, we got a unique hotel. Oh, it's a unique venue, blah, blah, blah. And it's basically a cookie cutter hotel of the last 10 that I've talked to. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to say, well, wait a minute. Just based on what you're telling me, based on these photos here, it's a traditional hotel. They're not looking for this. They're looking for something that's out of the way, rustic. Doesn't have to be, it has to be nice, but it has to be rustic, right? It has to be it can be in the mountains. It can be anywhere other than a city location or a downtown location. I mean, sometimes I have to be that detailed with it, especially for some of these special groups that I have that, like I said, they'll be okay with a glamping situation, right? And if you have that, that's even the more better. The more different hotels that you have, the better off, right? But sometimes people they only hear what they want to hear, and they think their hotel is unique, although it can be a boutique hotel. Okay, oh, this is unique because it's a boutique hotel. Well, yeah, a lot of boutiques are unique, but they can still come under the category of being traditional. I'm looking for non-traditional, rustic, not high-end, not over the top, but, rustic and nice, right? So those are things, that's kind of the buzzwords I use for some of these groups, or at least this one group that's hard to find space for. Some people get it, some people don't. And sometimes you just have to tell them, like, hey, I don't think it's going to work. I really don't think your hotel is going to work, and leave it at that. And, sometimes you walk away, hey, maybe we can do business with other groups. I have other groups that are not as restrictive as this one, but for this particular group, I don't think it's going to work. And it's okay to tell people that, right? Sometimes we just want to save face, and we only got 10 minutes with them. We'll probably never see them again in life, so I can just say whatever I want to say and not respond to their emails when they, send me the email. No, just let people know now. You don't have to let it go for another week and then they constantly email you and calling you and things like that. No, nip it in the bud now. I really don't think it's going to work. In fact, I know it's not going to work. And I'll give them, I always give them examples of hotels they've used in the past. I said, is it your hotel kind of similar to this? I mean, no two hotels are going to be alike unless they're all cookie cutter. But I'll give them, I say, hey, they met at this hotel, and I'll bring it up because I have my laptop with me. Can you take a look at it and see if it's? Oh no, we don't. Our hotel's not like that. It's not. Doesn't have that kind of feel or that vibe. Okay, well then there we go. Boom, done. Don't expect the RFP from me. But anyway, that's it. So 5 reasons. That was 5 common reasons meeting professionals don't follow up after conference one-on-one appointments. 1, overwhelming volume of meetings. 2, lack of urgency. 3, information overload. 4, shifted priorities. And 5, unclear value proposition. Now, these will be on the blog, so you don't have to write them down here. You can wait and get them off the blog if that's what you want to do. Okay, so give me to the end of the day, though. Okay, can you give me to the end of the day to put them on the blog? And once again, the blog is on Russell of Hotels, russellofhotels.com. Okay, just go to the blog button, hit it, and what is it going to do? Bing! It's going to bing. So anyway, and remember, okay, this is a daily check-in, but remember, On Air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about? That's on every Tuesday. So that's the show that was the first thing that I did, right? I came up with this back in 2019. And I said, you know what? I didn't want to go into, I was in 2018. I didn't want to go into 2019 doing the same things I was doing in 2018. So I got this wild hair, and it came from because someone had asked me, Craig Sullivan had asked me to be a guest on his podcast, right? Everybody knows Craig Sullivan with Click Conference. In fact, if you're not familiar with Click Conference, CLIC, check it out, clickconference.com. Okay, so just look it up. I promise you it'll be good. Just look it up, clickconference.com. If you're interested, sign up now. It's in March of next year. Anyway, so I was a guest on his show. And on my way back home after I appeared on his show, it was the first podcast I've ever been on, I started thinking, like, that would be dope to start my own podcast, invite guests on, talk about how they got in the industry. No two people got in this industry alike, have them share their stories. And that's kind of how I started, and start educating people, not educating just people that are within the hospitality space, but educating people outside of the space that need to understand the inner workings of hotels. Because a lot of people stay in hotels, but they don't know how they work. They don't know how they operate. A lot of times they don't even know people that ever work in a hotel. They don't know about salespeople. Well, what are you selling? I mean, I didn't even know that. When I came out of school and I started working in a hotel, well, Marriott was my first job, right? But I was offered a job with Sheraton. This is when Sheraton and Marriott were. Sheraton was independent. Sheraton was ITT Sheraton. Who remembers that, right? It wasn't part of Marriott like it is now. So I was offered a job as a sales manager at the Sheraton in New Orleans, right? I think it's on the French Quarter or Canal Street. I can't remember. But I didn't take that job because I didn't know what the hell they were selling. I was like, what do you want me to be a sales manager? What am I selling? I didn't know. So I said, you know what? I need to know. I need to get into operations so I see how all the departments, because I did not have any hotel experience at that time. So I needed to see how each department worked together. How does this department work with that hotel, with that department, and this department with that one? What is housekeeping? I don't even know what that was. Front office, okay, what is that? Engineering, what, they driving trains here? I mean, I did not know. I did the banquets, catering. What's the difference between catering and banquets? There's a food and beverage director. What does he or she do? I mean, there's a chef too, general manager. Okay, I didn't know all these positions, and I needed to know that before I can sell anything. So I always had aspirations of being in sales, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. But I did know that I didn't know hotels, and I needed to learn each department and how they related to each other. That's what I did, right? So this kind of, On Air with Russell of Hotels, it kind of gives a background of how I got in the industry, what's going on now, advice to people that are coming up that want to go in the industry. Because I didn't know anyone that was in it. I just knew that it seemed interesting and it was different from just being in the school of business, right? It was, okay, I've taken business classes, I took marketing classes. I knew marketing was going to be the key to sales for me, right? But like I said, I needed to know operations in hotels because I had no idea how it worked, how it fit into this, how housekeeping manager fit into the puzzle of this whole hotel organization. I had no idea. So I had to educate myself. So there you go. So that's what this was. I mean, 20, 25 years later, I come up with this on air with Russell of Hotels, and then this company Russell of Hotels, and I need to share this information with people, right? So a lot of things I talk about on this show, the Daily Check-In, on air with Russell of Hotels, are based on my experiences, based on what I went through. And a lot of people are still dealing with some of the stuff now, but people that are coming in don't know what to expect. So that's my job, to educate people, right? It's my job to educate people, let people know what I do and how I can help people. I mean, of course, I do hotel consulting. I've done task force, general manager, task force, director of sales and marketing for, various hotels throughout the nation, not just here in California, but throughout the nation. As far as promoting hotels, that's what I do. As far as being a brand show off, that's what I do. I was just showing, what hotel was I just showing during this segment of this show? I was showing the Courtyard Marriott Hacienda Heights, right? The hotel that I opened. I talked about that. So that's creating content for that. That's branding for that hotel, right? Because a lot of people don't even know that hotel even exists. A lot of people don't know a lot of hotels exist. People in the marketing department or sales thinks because they got this name on the building that everyone knows that hotel exists, and they don't. That's why it's important to constantly get your name out there. Just like it's important for me to constantly get on air with Russell of Hotels out there, or Russell of Hotels, because it's not for the people that know what I do, it's for the people that don't know what I do. And that's how we need to take this whole, hotel marketing, and I'm this director of sales and marketing, and no one knows your freaking hotel, right? Because you think it has a certain emblem or symbol on the building that you think everyone knows. Are you running 100%? If you're not running 100% 365 days a year, you need some promotion. Boom, there you go. Can you make it any simpler than that? I don't think so. But people don't understand the digital landscape and how more effective that is than some of the traditional methods of getting your brand across to the masses. Okay, so, and that's another thing that I try to do. I try to assist people with that as well. So there you go. So the podbean.com, that's the traditional podcast. So it's the audio portion only. So feel free, if you wanted to just listen to me, you don't want to see me, that's fine, because people say that all the time. I don't want to see you, I just want to hear what you have to say. Okay, that's fine. Go to Russell of Hotels, go to podcast, hit that button, bing, and you can hear me there. You can hear just the audio portion. Or you can go to podbean.com, which is similar to like a Spotify, and just type in On Air with Russell of Hotels, and it'll pop up there too. So there you go. So you got like two ways to listen to the podcast only. And then if you want to watch the show, you can go to LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, and I'm there. Okay. So I know that was a long way. That was a long way to get there, but I got there, right? I got there. So anyway, any questions at all, feel free to email me, russell@russellofhotels.com. I am a resource, right? Hotel site selection, I'm a resource. You need information about promoting your hotel, I'm a resource. What about social media? You don't know anything about social media, using or branding your hotel via social media? I know that too. So there we go. That's what we do. That's how I do it. That's how I get down. So, but anyway, I'm a resource for all those different things and things that I haven't mentioned either. But anyway, just email me, russell@russellofhotels.com. If you want to call me, you can do that. Go to my website, russellofhotels.com. My phone number is all over it. Just pick up the phone and call me. Check this out, okay? And I'm going to end it at this. So how much time am I on? Damn, I'm over 30 minutes right now. I'm almost 35 minutes. Typically, I don't go this long. But, okay, Today, I get this email from this young lady. She's with a PR company, right? And I'm not even going to tell you the person's name and all that, but there's this person, a CEO of a company, of a hotel company, a CEO of a hotel company that's interested in coming on my show. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I've had CEOs on here before. That's cool. Okay, I'm good with that. And I always ask, how did you find out about me? Because you want to know, is it your marketing efforts or someone else's marketing efforts that got you in front of these people? Okay, because I don't know this person. This person doesn't know me. I just get this random email from this person who has a PR firm, right? And she represents the CEO of this hotel company. Okay, so I said, I'm familiar with the hotel company, but I wasn't familiar with the CEO, right? And basically I'm putting this in the email. And I said, if you don't mind my asking, how did you find out about me? How did you find out about On Air with Russell of Hotels? She sends me a link to this article, and it says 22 best hospitality podcasts to listen to in 2024. And it's from the Hotel GM. That's the name of the magazine, Hotel GM. And I'm in there. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know. I've never seen that. I had never seen that publication. So you just don't know. I guess I said that to say this. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who appreciates what you do. You don't know who is seeing or listening to you and elevating you to a level that you can't elevate yourself, right? So you just don't know. So that's why sometimes you have to, just because you can say a lot of things on podcasts, you can say a lot of things, you can do a lot of things, but that doesn't mean you should do them just because you can say them, right? So you have to be careful about, how you, discuss things, how you talk about things. You just have to, right? Because like I said, you never know who's coming behind you, and you never know who is listening and who can put you in, in front of other people. You just don't know that, right? So I'm just thankful that people out there appreciate what I do, appreciate what I talk about, and they're mentioning it to other people. They're pushing it on to other people, and I appreciate that. So whoever the article, whoever the author or the editor of the Hotel GM, I appreciate that, because, like I said, I had not seen this publication before, and she just sent it to me. And guess what I did? I sent it to everybody that I know. And believe me, it will be on my website later today. Okay. So, but no, I appreciate that. You just, like I said, you just don't know who is listening, who is watching, and who's appreciating what you do. And consistency is the key, right? So whenever you do these things, and I talk to people all the time. I said, and people may do, they may do something live or something. I said, that's great. That looks good. You look good doing it. I love the message, whatever. But this is the key. You got to be consistent. You can't just do it every now and then, right? If you want to be known, in the industry for, being a great salesperson or representing this particular hotel, you got to be consistent, because it's not for the people that know. It goes back to what I said earlier. It's not for the people that know or already know what you do or who you are. It's for the people that don't know who you are and what you do. So always look at it like that. Salespeople should always look at it like that. It's not about all these people. Oh, these people. Oh, I know so and so. Oh, okay, that's fine that they know you already, but are they giving you business? The people that normally the people that give you business are the people you have no idea who the heck they are. Normally, that's how it works. I mean, and you just never know where you're going to meet that next piece of business, right? I mean, I've been on planes before, and people just randomly sit next to you, and you start this conversation, and next thing you know, you're doing business together. Because that literally what happened to me. I'm flying to Tucson, and this lady who works for this organization, they're on their way to do this retreat in Arizona, right? And she goes on to tell me that, she tells me what she does, and then she asks me what I do. And I told her, I said, well, it's funny that you should, mention that you're going to retreat. I said, I kind of, do the hotel site selection, and I assist, meeting planners with finding that right site for their meetings, their conventions, their conferences, or whatever, their retreats. She said, "Oh my God, we need that because we don't know what we're doing." That's basically what she said. We got this place, but we didn't know what we were looking for. We signed contracts. We don't know what the contracts mean. We don't know any of that stuff. So I'm like, well, that's what I do. She goes, "Oh my God, let me introduce you to our person that does this." Introduce me to that person, and I've done 6 meetings for those people, for that group, for that organization. Six last year. It's going to be at least 6 this year. Excuse me. It's going to be at least 6 next year, going into the 25, and it's growing, right? So there you go. So you never know who you're going to be sitting next to, right? So, and you just have to let people know what you do, right? So always, and especially when you're doing these particular things, instead of that elevator pitch that we talk about, if you come on here and do one of these shows, so this is for the show, if you're doing lives or your elevator pitch, let people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help. Those are 3 things you should just let them know, and that's it. You don't need to do anything else, right? Okay, I got 30 seconds to tell. Okay, all right, 30 seconds. Who are you? Russell of Hotels, or Russell Edmond. What's the second one? What do you do? I'm a hotel site selection specialist. I assist companies and organizations with finding that right hotel for their retreat, their conference, their convention. 10 rooms or more is considered a group. I'm all about groups. 10 rooms or more, I've helped people from 10 rooms to 650 rooms on peak. And I help them with contract negotiations, all that, all the bells and whistles. And how can that help me? Well, it takes, that RFP process off your desk. I'll take care of that for you. You just give me the specifics. I compile the RFP. I send it out to my hotel and CDB partners. They send the stuff back to me. I forward it to you. We go over the things. And when you choose which hotel you want to go with, I help facilitate the contract. Make sure, everything that should be in the contract is in the contract. You sign a contract, boom, and it's done, right? So it takes that stuff. You can worry about the content of the meeting. You don't have to worry about the specifics and logistics of that meeting or the hotel, finding the hotel and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I do, right? So I explain that, and boom, that's it, right? So always, like I said, be consistent and let people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. That's it. Any other questions, just feel free to email me, russell@russellofhotels.com. This is a daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. I do this Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Tuesdays, I do On Air with Russell of Hotels. Last show was 270. This coming Tuesday will be show number 271. Boom, there you go. But I'll be back tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday, last day of the week. I'll be back to do another daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. So thank you guys again for listening to me. Appreciate you guys, the support. And as